What is up, everybody? It has been so long since we have made a video, and we are here today using our brand new video kit that I got on Christmas. It is the Movo Phone Video Kit 7, and it has a brand new light kit. It has a microphone built in. I have the entire stand, and I'm actually recording on my phone, which is nice, so I don't need a huge camera right now, which is I'm still waiting on one of my huge cameras to come from school. So it has been forever since I feel like I've made a video. And what I wanted to talk about, being New Year's Eve and reflecting on the year of 2020, it's been a year. It feels like it's been 5 years pushed into one. It feels like insanity that it's been this long, that we've all been in our homes and figuring out how to work from home, how to deal with all of that. And so it's been a ride. It's been a roller coaster. And I started reflecting on this year around Christmas time. I started thinking about everything that's gone on, everything that's happened in this year. I've had a lot happen in this year. I started a new job recently, which has been amazing. I started going back to school to finish my degree. I'm now doing digital cinematography at Full Sail University. So that is exciting. It's fun. I want to be a filmmaker. That's what I've wanted to do for years now. So that is what we're doing. This is what's going on. And it's been a roller coaster of a ride time, reflecting on this year and reflecting on everything that we've got going on, everything that is insanity right now, and just dealing with all of that. And so one thing I did want to talk today about is I wanted to update my coming out story, as well as talking about the movie Happiest Season. And if you haven't seen Happiest Season yet, it is exclusively on Hulu. It has an amazing cast, an amazing storyline, and personally for me, with my coming out story, it was amazing to sit and watch this movie with my family. My family, in the first coming out video, I talk about how my family was very accepting. They figured it out before I did. I joke about that because it is true. I told each of my family members individually that I was a lesbian, that I was gay, and each family member had the exact same reaction. They were like, yeah, we knew. We really just were waiting for you to figure it out yourself. So when I told them all of this, they were fine with it. And the Happiest Season movie came out the day before Thanksgiving. It came out on November 25th. So I sat and I watched this movie with my aunt, my uncle, my younger sister, my older sister, and my grandmother. If you had told me 10 years ago that I would be watching a movie about a lesbian couple on Christmas, sitting in a room with my Irish Catholic grandmother, I would have laughed in your face. And I said that to my grandmother as we were watching the movie, and she laughed because she knew I was gay the whole time. She knew that I was me, that she loved me no matter what, and to her it didn't matter. But for me, it was a major deal to sit and watch this movie with my family and have this, I want to say, camaraderie, have this experience with my family that I'm so fortunate to have. I love my family. I'm very close to my family. So when I came out to all of them, it was nerve-wracking because I didn't want to lose anyone. And I came out when I was, now I have to do math, and I'm not good at doing math on, under pressure like that. I still, rely on my fingers half the time to count. I was 16, I believe, when I came out to my family. I was 16 years old. I'm 23 now, so it's been 7 years since I came out. It's been a wild ride in these 7 years because I've learned to accept myself. My family has really embraced me more, being me, being open. I have 5 siblings. I have my aunt, my uncle. I now have my nephew. And it's just me. I've figured out who I am, what makes me comfortable, what doesn't make me comfortable. And it's been amazing growing up in this, I want to say, era, because in this generation, because it's so much more accepted, it's so more open, it's more open and honest, and you can be who you are, be what you want to be, and you don't have to hide who you are anymore, and I love it. I'm just very fortunate. I can't say it enough. I'm fortunate to have the family I have, because not everyone gets that. Not everyone gets the family that I have, the family and the love and the support that I have. And so that is why I wanted to create this YouTube channel in the first place, is because I am in a position where I'm fortunate enough to have that, and I want to be that for somebody else. If you don't have that, I'll be that support for you. I'll be that, that advice giver, or that person who you can go to and just vent and be okay with, and know that you're safe and happy and loved. And that is why I started this YouTube channel in the first place. That's why I wanted to revisit the coming out story and talk about this movie, because this movie, I'm not gonna lie, this movie made me cry a little bit. I watched it first on my own before I watched it with my family the night before Thanksgiving, and I sat and I cried after watching it the first time, because having that experience, I didn't have a bad coming out experience. It was so positive. Each family member was so understanding, so kind, amazing with me. I still remember my one uncle. I hadn't told him right away. I told everybody else, and I couldn't get a hold of him, so I didn't tell him right away. And we sat that year, I remember sitting that year at Christmas dinner with the entire family sitting together, and I went over and I said hi to him, and I said hi to my aunt, his wife, and I remember he goes, "So, you got a girlfriend yet?" And that was like what he did. That was just his way of telling me he was okay with it, telling me he was okay with me. And his wife was like, "She doesn't want people to know." And I didn't care. I was like, "No, I don't care. I don't care if people know. I just haven't gotten the chance to tell you two yet." And so he was comedic with it. And his wife was very serious. She thought that he outed me or did something wrong, and I was like, no, it's okay. And it was just great. It was so open, and honestly, it was a huge relief. I remember my aunt. I told my aunt first. My aunt is like my second mother. When my mom passed away, I went and lived with my aunt. She's my mom's younger sister, and she is my second mom. She's always been my second mom. She's my godmother. She's just my other lifeline. Really, I wouldn't be where I am if it wasn't for her. She'll say I did a lot on my own. I didn't. I would not be here without her. And so when I told her, I remember I broke out crying. She took me, we were driving in the car after I got home from school, and we were going to go to the grocery store. And I had texted her that day while I was in school. I said, "Can we talk when I get home? I have something big I have to talk to you about. It's got to be done today." I sat in the middle of my cafeteria at school, and I sat and I wrote this text message, fearing my life going home. I knew it would be okay. I hoped it would be okay. But I was fearful for the rest of the day. I did that to myself. I texted during lunch, and my lunch was after 3 classes a day. You only had 4 classes a day, but it was halfway through the school day, so I still had 3 hours. I still had 3 hours to sit and think about this before I got home. So when I got home, she came home from work. We went to the store, just me and her. We hadn't even pulled out of the driveway yet, and I broke out in tears, crying, and she goes, "Is this what I think it is?" And I said, "What do you think it is?" And she goes, "Is this where you tell me you're gay?" And immediately that dread left my body, and I was so much happier, and I was just like, "Yeah, it's what you think it is." And like this was it. She goes, "Yeah, I knew." She goes, "I've known since you were like 3 or 4. I have no issue with it. I love you. Why would I care? You be happy, love who you love," like that type of stuff. And it was really amazing. And then we came home from the store. I told my uncle. He was fine with it. I told my older brother. I told both of my older brothers. One lived in the house, and another one lived in a different state at the time. And I called my older brother who lived in a different state. I called him on the phone, talked to him. He said he loved me, all of that good stuff. Like, he didn't care. Still doesn't. He's one of my best friends. My older brother, who now he only lives like 2 hours away from me, he is one of my best friends. He's always been my lifeline. He's been one of my biggest supporters, biggest protectors. Like, he's just an amazing man. And I told him he was perfectly fine. I told my other older brother he was fine. He was like, "Duh." I told my older sister she was fine, and then came telling the younger siblings. So if I was 16 at the time, that means my younger brother was 14, and my little sister was 9. No. See, I can't do math. My little sister would have been Would have been 9. No, I can't do math. I'm really, so, I don't know. She was young. We'll just say that. She was young. I can't figure it out right now. Yes, no, she was 9. I just did the math. She's 7 years younger than me. She was 9. Anyway, telling her was, I think, the hardest one because I didn't know how to tell a 9-year-old what that meant. And so the way I said it was, I told her, I go, I'm a lesbian, I'm gay, I like girls. And her response to that was, so like the 2 moms on the show the Fosters. I go, exactly. Just like that. And then that was the conversation. And my little sister was fine with it. She's like, okay. And then she went back to playing. My little brother, he was only 2 years younger than me. He goes, well, yeah, I kind of figured that, but I didn't want to say anything unless you had a chance to say it. And so that was it. That was what we did. That was my story. And then, actually, that was not the end of my story. I told my grandmother, I had to call my grandmother on the phone, and this was the biggest phone call that I was so worried about making that I dreaded it. I was shaking. My brother went and made a bowl of popcorn to mess with me because he said he wanted to enjoy the show of me telling my Irish Catholic grandmother that I was a lesbian. I'm the oldest grandchild. I'm the oldest biological grandchild of my grandmother. And so he wanted a show. He wanted to laugh because he knew it would be okay. And I sat there shaking. I'm on the phone with her and my hand is going like this. I'm holding the cell phone and my hand is just shaking like this. And when I told her, she goes, okay. She goes, as long as you're happy and you love who you love and you're just you and you're still the person we love and you don't change for anyone. She goes, I love you no matter what. I love who you are. She goes, I accept you and there's no issue. So that was the end of that. And then, fast forward now 7 years and I'm still the same person. I haven't really changed other than being expressive of who I love and who I, how I identify myself. Obviously, I have not changed the way I dress. I've always dressed like this. This is my style. This is what I love. I enjoy the way I look. I love my hair. I did change my hair, but that's because I don't like long hair anyway. I didn't like long hair before I came out. I don't like it now that I am out. It's just my hair, and this is what it is. But what I think my biggest message is, even if you're afraid to tell people who you are, it doesn't diminish who you are as a person. It doesn't make you any less important or any less special if you're not ready to come out. If you are still in the closet, I do have to say, it is amazing outside of the closet, but don't rush yourself. Don't force yourself to come out. If you've been outed, that's a horrible thing. Coming out is so personal, so individual, and it just is something so special and something you don't get back. Once you're out, you're out. And so really don't force yourself. Come out naturally and just be who you are, love who you are, and you are accepted. Even if you don't feel accepted, you're accepted by me and you're accepted by millions of other people. That is one of my biggest messages of this video, is that's what I have to say. Another big message of this video is I want to say thank you to the writers, the directors, producers, everyone involved in making the Happiest Season movie, because it really is about time that we got a movie that showcases homosexual relationships in such a positive light. Not just the background characters, but in the main front, where you have 4 characters that are so open and honest with themselves. Actually, 3 in the beginning, so open and honest with themselves, and 1 who ends up becoming open and honest with themselves and can fully express who they are, fully understand who they are, and be amazed by their own love and show that there is all types of love, there's all types of families, there's all types of comfort in the world, and just to be who you are and don't diminish yourself or don't hide yourself away just because you're afraid, and don't hide yourself for fear that you will not be loved, because you will be loved. You're always going to be loved by others. And I think that is my biggest story type of thing for tonight. I hope this has been helpful to some people. I hope it's been meaningful. This is one of the longest videos I've done since the original coming out story, so thank you for sitting and listening and watching this a second time. And as always, please continue to like, comment, subscribe. Thank you all so much for listening in and watching. And just be who you are, love who you are, and I'll be back again with more videos, especially with this new setup. So see you guys then. Peace out. Have a great new year. Here we go, 2021.